So, I'm going to be walking you through the dating transformation journey of our client, Bradford. And so, before working with us, this man was emotionally devastated from a painful divorce. He was deeply attached to a toxic ex who cheated on him multiple times and was attached to her because he didn't have any options in his dating life. He was trying to take her back repeatedly, relying on her for love and validation because he didn't know how to love himself. Feeling hopeless, lost, and directionless in life. He was trapped in these cycles of addiction to porn, alcohol, and drugs, and he was struggling with low self confidence and self worth. And if you know anything about what we do a combination of inner and outer work transformation and gain. And this resulted with him making these transformations during and after our work. So becoming fully healed and completely over his ex with a deep sense of self love and no longer seeking validation from others, crystal clear on his purpose, vision, and future, going on regular high quality dates every week. And at one point, I remember he was enjoying himself so much he had had a personal record of 10. And now, in a happy, healthy relationship with an amazing partner, he chose from a place of abundance. Truly understanding his value as a man and maintaining strong, healthy boundaries and knowing how to retain high quality women in his life. Now, when he came to us, he felt like a broken man. He was devastated from this painful breakup and he couldn't sleep. He had lost a ton of weight and he was struggling to eat due to anxiety and depression. And to cope, he turned to porn, drugs, and alcohol. And despite all of this, he still felt emotionally tied to his ex, a partner who'd lied, cheated on him, belittled him, and tried to stop him from seeing his own daughter. Desperate for love, he kept forgiving her and stayed in the toxic relationship for months. And he was stuck in a cycle of breaking up and getting back together with her. And his self esteem had gone. He felt completely hopeless and lost. And look, before this toxic relationship that had left him feeling broken, not knowing who he was, Bradford was a top income earner. He was in good shape and in many ways had a great life. But when it came to his romantic life, crickets. Every weekend, every Valentine's Day, every holiday, he was alone. But by implementing our process, all of that changed. And soon he was feeling like this masculine badass you see in these photos here. Look at this guy. Look at the confidence, the energy, right? The dominant energy that's coming through, the style. Right. Let's get right into it. So something had to change. Bradford still had a spark of self worth. And deep down, he knew he was stuck in toxic cycles. But he also knew he had to break free. And like many men out there, he kept choosing the wrong women, ignoring red flags, and getting hurt. And his confidence was gone, and he felt lost and directionless. And this affected everything because, as a self employed man, you'll understand he had big ideas and big goals, but no energy or belief to attack them. And he was stuck, depressed, and far from the life that he wanted. He knew things had to change. If not, it would just mean more toxic relationships, more bad habits, and more wasted time. He also felt like he didn't belong in the successful circles he wanted to be part of because his health, his emotions, and love life were out of control. That inner chaos was holding him back in business too. So he made a decision to turn his pain into power. And real change really starts with a decision, guys. And Bradford finally reached his breakup point when he said, enough is enough. And most men stay stuck after being shamed, disrespected, and broken down by women. They let those experiences define them forever. But Bradford made a different choice. He used his pain as a catalyst to becoming the hero of his own journey. And he was done with feeling lost and hopeless. He was smart enough to know he couldn't do it on his own. And what has been holding him back came down to really three main blocks. Number one was a lack of identity, vision, and purpose. He didn't know who he was, he didn't know what he wanted, or the kind of life he wanted to build. Number two, he had no clear plan. He had no structured plan for rebuilding his life socially, professionally, and emotionally. He needed to break bad habits, build healthy routines, and reconnect with his value, both with women and high level networks. And number three, no confidence with women. After years in a toxic relationship, he didn't know how to connect with women anymore. He felt awkward and disconnected from his masculinity. Bradford realized these weren't just surface level issues, they were deep rooted challenges that needed real intention and support to overcome. So he made the decision to take back control of his life, and everything began to change. Step one of our process was identifying his lies and limiting beliefs. And through deep introspection, Bradford overcame the limiting beliefs and internal lies rooted in his childhood that has shaped his identity. Beliefs of not being worthy, being unlovable, and not being good enough. His divorce didn't create these beliefs, but simply exposed them, revealing how he had internalized failure and scarcity, which affected his self worth and relationship. And despite professional success, Bradford repeatedly sabotaged himself by people pleasing, lacking boundaries, seeking approval, and which led ultimately to these toxic relationships. And we helped him um, identify these outdated beliefs and mental frameworks, deprogramming the false narratives and replacing them with healthier, empowering ones. And by healing his inner child and rewiring his subconscious, Bradford built a foundation to create clarity and vision for his purpose. Our step two was creating clarity and vision for his purpose. And without purpose, nothing else works, because purpose is the foundation for real change and what drives everything, guys. And I mean everything. And all great men were guided by purpose, and even through tough times, it kept them grounded. Nelson Mandela, for example, stayed strong through years in prison because he had the purpose he wanted. He wasn't in the perfect environment, far from it. He was in prison, but he was guided by a strong, unwavered purpose. And Bradford used to have that kind of clarity. Before his toxic relationship, he was focused, he was a driven entrepreneur, but over time, he lost touch with who he was and what he stood for. And when he came to us, he felt completely lost, no direction, no vision, just drifting. So, our first goal after rewiring his beliefs was to help him reconnect with his core purpose in life. And we got him clear on what he wanted to be and the life he wanted to build, meaning his business, his lifestyle, his health, his social circle, and his dating. And that clarity, using our CIE method, gave him a direction again. And from there, real change started to happen. And our step three was rebuilding his social confidence and helping him master the modern dating process. And with Bradford's purpose and vision restored, we moved on to one of the biggest challenges he had, which was rebuilding his social life and dating confidently after years in a toxic, isolating relationship. He was coming from a place of low self-worth and emotional exhaustion. He didn't know how to approach people, especially women, and how to start conversations, show his value, and build a real connection. He started by tackling the root issues of people pleasing, lacking of assertiveness, and the belief that he wasn't desirable. That's what we started with. And using then our social alchemy method, we helped him face social tension through real world practice. He rebuilt his self image, body language, voice, eye contact, and energy. He stopped seeking validation and instead became calm, grounded, and present. And then with our IBDC framework, our initiate, build, deepen, and close framework, we gave him a clear step-by-step system from moving from first contact all the way to romantic connection. And he learned how to start conversations, create flirtatious energy, and lead women confidently into dates and intimacy. And to support him on dates, we then used our date flow formula where we taught him how to run smooth, emotionally engaging dates that spark real attraction. And this step transformed Bradford from anxious and approval seeking to confident and in control, able to build real connection. So, our method, guys, our work is about helping men understand what's really holding them back, the beliefs, the habits, the outer game that no longer serves them. And with Bradford, part of that was helping him overcome the limiting beliefs that were holding him back and guiding him through finding a clear purpose again. And having that purpose gave him that sense of direction and helped him feel that sense of control. And we also worked with him on learning to connect with women naturally so that once he started to respect and love himself again, building relations became effortless and more genuine. So we taught him all these different mechanisms to rebuild his social and dating life, right? Through approaching women, through meeting them online, and through building an epic social circle. And by understanding not just the inner part through the first phases of our work, but also the outer game of opening, leading, building attraction, running dates, and pulling. And Bradford didn't just get over his breakup. He began trusting himself and took steady steps to improving his dating life in a real lasting way. And working with us, he learned how to go on consistent quality dates and intimacy to building his confidence. And he went from this low, self-confident man, not able to talk to women, to being able to approach girls at any time, in any place, getting dates. And right now, he is in a great relationship, a deep relationship with a great woman. So book a free 15-minute coffee chat. If you've watched this far, probably means that something resonated with you. And if you're recently out of a relationship or you feel lost like Bradford did, remember that finding purpose can help you regain that true power. And if you're ready to turn your pain into progress and start building your life, click the link below. We'll talk about where you are now, where you want to go, and create a clear, practical plan to get you there. And if you want to make real change, gain confidence, and build the kind of relationships you want, click the link. I'll be there to guide you through every single step. Imagine being able to attract high quality women naturally, hold deep conversations with them, have amazing dates and experiences, or have that quality relationship you've always dreamt of having, and finally live from that place of confidence and abundance. That's what this journey is all about. Time isn't guaranteed, guys, and the longer you wait, the harder it's going to get. So take action now. Click the link in the description below, book your free call, and let's get you moving towards the man you know you were meant to be.